Have you ever had a gut feeling about something only to ignore it and later regret it? Maybe it was a decision that seemed right on paper, but deep down, something inside you was whispering to go the other way. We've all been there, right? That quiet voice in our heads that we often brush off thinking it's just paranoia or wishful thinking. But what if that voice is trying to tell you something important? Something that could change the course of your life if only you listened. The thing is, we live in a world that often prioritizes logic, reason, and data. We're encouraged to make decisions based on facts, numbers, and objective analysis. But here's the catch. Intuition doesn't always show up in charts and graphs. It's that feeling in your chest when you meet someone for the first time, or that inner pull telling you to take a different route home. Intuition operates on a level beyond conscious thought. It's a kind of deep, inherent knowing that can guide us in ways our rational minds can't fully explain. Think about moments in your life when you've ignored your intuition. Maybe it was taking that job that on the surface seemed perfect, but something in your gut told you it wasn't the right fit. Or perhaps it was staying in a relationship longer than you should have, even when something in your soul kept telling you to move on. In both of these examples, ignoring that inner voice didn't lead to the outcomes we hoped for. Now, I'm not saying that intuition is infallible, but what I am saying is that it deserves our attention. When we ignore it, we're not just missing out on some vague, abstract advice. We're making decisions that can have real, tangible consequences. And in some cases, those consequences can be incredibly costly. Take, for example, the story of Steve Jobs. His intuition led him to make choices that changed the tech industry forever. He trusted his gut when he decided to pivot Apple in a direction that others thought was risky, and his intuition paid off. Jobs wasn't the only one to rely on intuition. In fact, countless successful people across different industries have attributed their achievements in part to trusting their gut feelings. Whether it's in business, personal relationships, or day-to-day life, intuition is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious mind, and it can be a powerful tool when used correctly. So why do we often dismiss it? In today's fast-paced, information-overloaded world, we tend to doubt ourselves, questioning if our gut feelings are reliable. But here's the thing. Intuition is not some magical or unscientific force. It's your brain processing years of experiences, knowledge, and emotional data in the background, often before your conscious mind can even catch up. Take a moment to think about this. Have you ever had a hunch about someone's intentions, only to later discover you were right? Maybe you decided to trust your instincts about a business partnership, and it turned out to be a major success. These aren't just coincidences. What you're experiencing is the power of intuition at work. But here's where it gets really interesting. Intuition isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about making opportunities. Your intuition can lead you to new opportunities, ideas, and paths that you might never have considered if you were simply following the logical route. It's that nudge to try something different, something unconventional, even when it doesn't make sense on paper. Many of the greatest innovations in history came from people who trusted their intuition despite all the odds. The key is learning how to recognize and harness this inner wisdom. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this discussion so far, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next as we dive deeper into the power of intuition and how ignoring it can seriously derail your life. Let's talk about a concept we all know, but often overlook: mindset. Our mindset shapes everything, from how we view challenges to how we make decisions. And when it comes to intuition, your mindset can either amplify or suppress it. If you're someone who's constantly second-guessing yourself, constantly searching for external validation, you might find it difficult to trust your inner voice. But here's the thing. Intuition doesn't always come in the form of grand epiphanies or dramatic signs. Sometimes it's that quiet nudge in your gut that says, "Trust this moment." But why is it so easy to ignore? Part of it is fear. Fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of failure. Fear of looking foolish. It's not always easy to trust something we can't fully explain, especially when the stakes are high. For example, consider a person who feels an inexplicable unease about a business deal that everyone else is excited about. Despite all the positive reviews and assurances, something doesn't sit right with them. They may push that feeling aside in favor of logic, assuming they're just being overly cautious. Yet, months down the line, that deal falls through, and they're left questioning why they didn't listen to their instincts. But here's where intuition can truly serve you. It can protect you from danger. Now, I'm not saying that your gut is always right, but when your body reacts to something, whether it's a tightness in your chest, a racing heart, or a feeling of dread, there's a reason for it. These physical responses are often your body's way of signaling that something's off. Your unconscious mind picks up on subtle cues that your conscious mind hasn't even registered yet. In a sense, intuition acts as a defense mechanism, helping you navigate situations that might otherwise go unnoticed. This is especially relevant in high-stakes situations like making major life decisions or choosing the right people to trust. If you've ever felt a sense of unease about a person and later found out they weren't as trustworthy as they seemed, that's intuition at work. It's your mind and body processing information you might not even be consciously aware of yet. The same goes for situations. Let's say you're considering a job offer that promises high pay but doesn't align with your personal values. That internal pull to decline the offer may not have an immediate logical explanation, but it's the result of your subconscious processing all the hidden variables that would make that job a poor fit for you long term. But here's something that many people don't consider. Intuition doesn't just tell you what not to do, it also tells you what to do. Often, when people feel stuck or uncertain, they're not listening to that inner voice guiding them toward the next step. Maybe it's a new career path, a hobby that could become a passion, or a relationship that feels like it could be something special. Intuition has the ability to direct you toward these opportunities, often when you least expect it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've been stuck in a job for years, feeling unfulfilled, but you're too scared to make a change. One day, you get a random email about a new job opening that aligns perfectly with your values and aspirations. On the surface, it might not make sense to pursue it. Maybe you think it's too risky or you're comfortable where you are. But if you pay attention to that subtle feeling inside, that nudge to at least explore the opportunity, you might just find yourself on a path that you never would have considered otherwise. That's the power of intuition. It pushes you to take bold steps, to venture outside your comfort zone, and to pursue opportunities that you might have dismissed. It's not about being reckless or impulsive. It's about tapping into that deeper wisdom that's always been there, waiting for you to acknowledge it. And believe me, when you start to trust that feeling, life begins to align in surprising ways. But here's the catch. Ignoring your intuition doesn't just lead to missed opportunities. It can also cause you to stay stuck in unhealthy cycles. When you continue to deny that inner voice, you're essentially telling yourself that you don't trust your own judgment. This can erode your self-confidence over time, leaving you more vulnerable to making decisions that don't serve your best interests. So, I'll ask you again, when was the last time you listened to your intuition? When was the last time you allowed yourself to be guided by that quiet voice inside? If you're struggling to remember, maybe it's time to reconnect with that part of yourself. Before we dive deeper into the importance of intuition and how you can start practicing it in your life, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This could be the turning point you've been waiting for. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on why so many of us ignore our intuition in the first place. It's not because we don't want to trust ourselves. It's because we live in a world that often prioritizes logic, evidence, and reason. we're taught to make decisions based on facts, data, and clear outcomes. While this approach works in many aspects of life, it can also prevent us from tuning into the subtle energies and insights that intuition offers. This isn't just some mystical concept or gut feeling. Intuition is rooted in our brain's ability to process vast amounts of information without our conscious awareness. It's a result of your mind recognizing patterns, picking up on emotions, and even observing body language without you even noticing. The more you listen to it, the more you'll learn to recognize the valuable insights it's providing. But how can you start incorporating intuition into your decision-making? How can you learn to trust it and use it as a tool to guide you forward? Well, the first step is awareness. Acknowledge that intuition exists and that it's a powerful force in your life. When you start recognizing that inner voice and those subtle feelings, you can begin to differentiate between fear-driven thoughts and genuine intuitive insights. One of the best ways to strengthen your intuition is by practicing mindfulness. Set aside time each day to center yourself, clear your mind, and just feel. You might be surprised at how much information your body and mind are already giving you if you just listen. Meditation is another fantastic tool for tuning into your inner voice. It helps you clear the noise and focus on the whispers of wisdom that are often drowned out by the chaos of everyday life. You can also start keeping a journal. Write down the times when you've trusted your intuition and what the outcome was. Over time, you'll begin to see patterns emerge, times when your intuition was spot on and times when it wasn't. But more importantly, you'll start to build confidence in your ability to discern between your fears and your true inner guidance. I'll give you another example here. Maybe you've been thinking about quitting your job and starting a business for years, but the fear of failure holds you back. One day, you get a chance encounter with a mentor who talks to you about their own entrepreneurial journey. The conversation leaves you feeling inspired, but you still hesitate. However, if you tap into that intuitive feeling, you might realize that the hesitation is less about the risk and more about the fear of the unknown. Your gut is nudging you towards something greater, something you're truly capable of, but it's up to you to listen. The power of intuition lies in its ability to guide you towards things that align with your authentic self. It helps you make decisions that are in line with your values and desires, rather than conforming to societal expectations or fear-driven thoughts. This doesn't mean that every decision you make intuitively will be perfect, but it does mean you're tapping into a deeper, more authentic part of yourself. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect on your life. Think about the choices you've made, big and small. Can you pinpoint moments where you ignored your intuition? How did that affect your life? Now, think about the times you followed your gut. How did it change the course of your journey? By becoming more in tune with your intuition, you can start making choices that feel right, not just on paper, but in your heart. If you're feeling uncertain about where to begin, remember that it's okay to start small. Begin by trusting your instincts on smaller decisions, like choosing what to eat or which movie to watch. Over time, you'll build confidence in your intuitive abilities and be able to rely on it for more significant life choices. As we end this video, I want you to remember this. Intuition isn't just some abstract concept. It's a valuable tool that can guide you toward a life that is more aligned with your true purpose, your desires, and your goals. Ignoring it can be costly, but trusting it can lead you to unexpected opportunities and deeper fulfillment. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more insightful content. Your intuition is a powerful gift. Use it wisely and watch how it transforms your life. Thank you for watching, and remember, the next time you face a tough decision, trust that inner voice. It knows what's best for you. See you in the next video.